Good morning, everyone. Here's another third video. Still talking about the same job, Patriot, and when you get out of the Army. So, according to this website from job recruiters from Fort Sill, Oklahoma, it gives you the job description, most definitely, of the Patriot launcher crew member, but it definitely talks about some other program pays partnership for youth success. So those interested in this job may be eligible for civilian employment after the Army by enrolling in the PAYS program. As a recruitment option that guarantees job interview military-friendly employers that are looking for experienced and trained veterans to join their organization. And it says you can find out more by going to www.armypays.com. List of jobs here is very short. AT&T Incorporated, Hewlett Packard Company, Kraft Foods Global, Sears Holding Corporation, Time Customer Service, and Walgreens. So with that right there, none of it relates to what you've done in the Army as a Patriot operator. So, and also with that, I would definitely say those aren't the only jobs. You have Raytheon, you have Lockheed Martin, and Northrop Grumman even approached me when I was working at the schoolhouse to see if I wanted to join CRAM over there in Afghanistan. No thanks. So with that knowledge, you're getting into the Army because I know the biggest mindset is that we have to stay in the Army and stay employed and get to retirement so that way we can have something to fall back on. And talking in the other previous video, I was talking about the retirement system. You're not going to get that money. You're not going to get the traditional retirement like we used to. It ended in 2016, with it being in effect by November 2020. No, 20. What is it? 2015. Yeah, it went into effect November 2015, and then everybody it's like an IRA or a retirement. It just goes into there, and it has something to do with points too. So many points you earn for every year. I see it as a very bad way to do business because a lot of people are expecting to get their retirement traditionally the way they do in the Army, and I think it was done like that only because I feel this way. Just me, my opinion. That the Army or the government was running out of money because we were living longer than they predicted. So it was harder to continue to pay these veterans this money because they were living longer. And our lifestyles in the Army are, well, sometimes somewhat cavalier. So we end up not making the best choices sometimes with our health. We're eating different foods that aren't good for us, which that's another topic right there that a lot of people don't know. So we don't end up living longer. I think that's what they were betting on. It's the same thing with the VA. My opinion only. I think VA are pumping people full of medication because eventually they know 25 years on this certain medication, your liver and your kidneys are shot. They had me on Ultram. Yeah, it did great for the nerves in my back and my left and right radiculopathy that I have, which is nerve damage. But long term, I'd have been at kidney failure probably by the time I was 60 years old taking this stuff. This is bad. It's bad for you. So they ended up paying the people. This one guy that got out of the platoon, he got out right before me. They med boarded him out. He slipped a disc in his back, and they ended up giving him 80% from VA and 50 from the Army as an E3. I'm not gonna say his name. And then with that, I ended up at the start of it. They wanted to give me 30% from the Army retirement and only 50 from VA. And I had multiple injuries through my back and even been through a knee surgery already too. I had abdominal surgery, face surgery in my jaw, but it was like minimum. And that is also another topic on its own too, with the VA system getting out. Wow. They make it sound like you're trying to rob the government, and you're really not. You're saying you're supposed to pay for the stuff that's broken, and then their VA math is about crazy too. I don't like it. It's almost like a cheapskate math. It's trying to cheat the person who's trying to get the money. I don't like it at all. But as far as the health goes, this is another topic right here. I didn't know, because they don't tell you while you're in the Army when they're checking your labs and stuff every year. They don't tell you about your cholesterol levels, because they make the assumption that you're continuing to do exercises and stuff all the time. And then when I got out of the Army, they said, "Hey, your cholesterol level's like a 250-pound man." What? And at that time, I was only 170 pounds. It's like, no way. I don't eat like crap. So it's impossible for me to have cholesterol like that. Turns out I have familial cholesterol. It comes from my mother. But still, that's the topic, is they don't tell you about your cholesterol levels in the Army. They tell you after you get out of the Army. And then even that was even a road show, because they wanted to put me on statins, which made me weak. I couldn't. It felt like I had no energy whatsoever, and it took forever to drop my levels to the point where I was like, I can't take this stuff. I can't work. It's impossible for me to move, get up, and do my job. Then it put me on something called Repatha. Much better. It's an injection once a month. Drops you all the way down. No issues. So with that, back to the jobs. I would definitely say, if anybody has any questions, job-wise, they should most definitely give me a shout. I could definitely point you in the right direction, because I know people in some of these companies, and it's really not that hard to research it out to find a job specifically for you. Everybody starts out at the bottom. That's just the way it is. Everybody starts down there. I mean, unless you have a doctorate in a specific field, then of course you're going to jump right up. I would definitely say get your education in while you can. If they still using TA, use your TA while you're on active duty, and get your degree and save your GI Bill, or pass it to your spouse. I had done that with done that before too. So definitely let me know in the comments. Hit that thumbs up. I'll report back.